the use of different versions of myself in this memoir prefigures the whole 900,000 plus page, 900,000 plus word chapter called Bit of Lit, or Bit in Lit, or Bit of Lit, in A Norwegian the Family, where Bit meets constantly different versions of himself, and a whole hallway fills up with little dwarves. Um, so it's interesting, and that's a good example of how I reuse something in a totally different fashion. As far as the reason I did that, I just didn't want to repeat myself totally with the books. I think each of the books gets better. I think number two is better than one, even though it's a little shorter.
I would agree. I
Number
would agree.
three is
Each
better
one is
than
better.
two, and number four is the best of them. But you don't want to uh, repeat yourself. Let's see. Sonia's. I remember one of them is the little black girl who refused to say the Pledge of Allegiance. And what's
And
the
the
other?
other was a tryst.
Oh yeah. Okay. Um, yeah. Okay. Now that's the Sonia, the little black girl, was really, her name was Sonia. I'm trying to remember who the Trist one. This is one where I had to make up a different name, and it worked. And there's a good example of having to lie, because it gave me a second Sonia. I've only known one Sonia in life, uh, but let's see, Sonia without a last name. Which Trist was? Yeah, I'd have to look.
You also make up for that in the truth element in your admission that you are terrible with names.
Yeah, yeah, that's true. Um, Yeah, the neo-Nazi Trench Norton. That wasn't his real name. I did use the real name of Paco or the real name that I knew him of. He could have been Paco Suarez for all I know. I used Paco Robertillo and Maria Robertillo, his sister. Now I don't know if she's still alive either. She very well could be, but I'm not really worried about it, because I always had a decent relationship with her. I'm not sexually talking, but I'd have to read the whole thing. I don't remember the real name. The Sonia here that I had the tryst with is a real person, but I'd have to read the whole thing to remember who it was. But the Sonia, I do remember that Sonia. I remember her crying. I remember Mr. Gewurtz, the principal of PS 113, sort of ragging on her. And there's Valerie Bertinelli popping up again. When I was a kid, I had such a boner for Valerie Bertinelli.